Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the very first edition of Nosebleed Sports presented by Part-Time.
The Part-Time Podcast.
We're back.
Yeah, we are back, and for a very, very special reason, because we are launching this new episode, and I'm fucking pumped about it.
We've been gone for a while, though, guys.
We have, because everybody just decided to go out of town.
We did.
Yeah.
I was super busy with work. People were going out of town. We all had our own reasons, but we're here to deliver you content. And we want to give you content after content after content after content.
Oh, beautiful.
We're here, baby.
So I love every second of it.
Let's jump into the first segment today on the new Nosebleed Sports section of the Part-Time Podcast. Bills versus the Patriots. Bam, baby. We had an exciting week last week. My boy Danny went over here to Buffalo.
I did.
Watched a marriage happen on the field right before the game. That's how crazy these Bills fans
That's
are.
exactly how I'm
They
getting
had
married.
a marriage going on the field before the game.
You're done, right?
Yeah, they had like an entire ceremony right in, right at the 50-yard line during halftime. Which is
Did you
pretty
yell
cool.
out, "Don't do it"?
No, because they couldn't hear me.
Okay.
I mean, we'll see what's up. But, like, I mean, in all honesty, what you guys see on TV, like on Barstool or Bleacher Report, or just the news in general, like breaking tables, like taking, like, shots on bitches' asses.
It's all true.
It is all true. And more. And more. Like, some of the stuff that I saw happen at that tailgate, like, you couldn't put it on TV. Like, these guys, like they wake up at like 5 a.m. in the morning. They are raging by like 5:30, 6 o'clock, and I'm honestly surprised that anybody can even watch the game by the time that tailgate.
That's what I was going to ask. How many people do you think actually made it to the game from the tailgate?
Believe it or not, I think the vast majority of them do,
Really?
but they're just so blacked out that they have no idea what's going on. I mean, wouldn't be surprised that like maybe like 500 to 1,000 of them, like, need to wake up the next morning and check the score and figure out what happened.
Still curious?
Yeah.
So it's a kind of synonymous question, but did you see anybody jump through tables?
Yeah, most definitely.
Most definitely.
And so you didn't see my Instagram story?
I did.
Oh, okay. I was about to say. It was fantastic. I saw at least 5 or 6 of them going through. And I mean, we were like super confident about it. And little do you know, my buddy Boston is a huge Patriots fan.
It's unfortunate for us.
And I'm a diehard Bills fan. And yes, we lost, but Austin, we are playing you 2 more times this year.
We play you 3 times?
Yeah. The AFC Championship, baby. We'll see ya.
He's already
We'll see
counting.
you then.
He's
baby.
already
We'll see you then, baby.
He's
We'll see you
already
then.
calling.
No.
I gotta give it to you guys though. A lot of Patriots fans thought it was gonna be a blowout, and when we were up 13-0 in the first quarter, I almost called you again on the block punt touchdown because I thought it wasn't gonna stop. And you, hands down to the Bills this year, they made Tom Brady look like he's never looked in years.
He looked awful.
We won the game. I mean, we'll pull it out at the end of the day, but the fierce competition that the Bills let go versus the Patriots was very surprising, and I definitely see you guys snatching a wild card spot.
I always feel
Me
like,
too.
though, every time I watch the Bills and Patriots play every year, though, it's always a close game. Now, so there has been so many years where the Patriots have blown them the hell out, but it seems most of the time I've watched the games, it's always seemed to be pretty close from what I
So that's the
remember.
case for all divisional games, though, for the
sure.
most part.
Like it's
Super
just like
close,
it's just
super
like
low scoring.
It's just like the Miami game last year, the Miami Miracle. I mean, that was just insane.
Last second of the game.
I mean, that was just insane.
And so it's just crazy for those divisional opponents because it just means so much more, especially for teams that are fighting for the wild card and stuff.
Right.
But, I mean, honestly, like, really, like, Josh Allen, the quarterback, he is like, all right, quarter 1 through 3, in each and every single game this season, playing like Uncle Rico. Quarter 4, that man looks like an MVP candidate. I just want him to play consistently and lower my blood pressure. I guarantee you that if he were to not get hurt, we would have won that game 17-16. I'm almost like...
I mean,
I'll let you say what you want to say, but at halftime, Josh Allen had 1 completion and 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
I mean, Matt Barkley didn't look bad though when he came in.
Dude, Barkley.
I mean, he didn't look that
He
bad.
scared the shit out of me.
I mean, he literally did not look bad.
Oh, my God.
Barkley came in looking like a stud.
Well, hey, man, I mean, we're on to Tennessee, and let's just hope that it
Hey,
kind
how
of...
about my Panthers 2-0. 2 straight.
Kyle Allen.
Straight?
2 straight.
After 2 horrific losses?
Well, not too horrific. It was a close game against the Rams. First game of the season, not so much.
I like Kyle Allen. Now, what do you think about your
not the first
boy
game,
Cam that you've been preaching about?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. He's been playing hurt. And the way I look at it is, and the Panthers are doing the right thing now, which is do not bring him back until he's completely fully healthy.
Okay, but Kyle Allen wins 6 games before Cam comes back. What happens?
I say play the hot hand.
You
So
play the hot-
if Kyle
absolutely.
Allen is still putting up the numbers he's doing, he's still consistently winning games, and we win 6 straight.
You can't take him out.
I'm sorry, I can't take him out. But unfortunately, they're going to. I know it's going to happen because Cam Newton's the starting guy.
Yeah.
He's the one that's got the big contract. He's the one who's been Rookie of the Year. He's been the MVP once in the league. He's taken us to a Super Bowl. We've been to the playoffs almost every time when he's healthy and he's played well.
Yeah.
So
I think he won like a runway show for the scarves he wears.
yeah, that needs to stop. He looked like a.
Oh my god.
He needs to stop that. I'm sorry. What he
You see
needs to
Kyle
do.
Allen's post. He's
What
like, I
he
don't.
needs to do is bring back the dance moves and the dab back, and then we'll be talking. Yeah.
But Kyle Allen post on Instagram, he was like, I don't need to wear fancy scarves to win football.
No, he doesn't.
I'm here to play football. And I respected this.
And I
shit.
respect
He didn't
that.
say that,
But-
did he?
Yes.
Yo,
did.
he's starting beef with
There
Cam
was- there
already.
was
I don't
a-
think he's starting
There was a
beef,
quote
but-
on Instagram about that.
But I will
Like
get.
said.
Here's one thing I will back Cam up, and I've never heard Cam say this. I've never seen him so humble in my life. But he literally said the reason why we lost his first 2 games were because of me. And he never admits to that. He never says it's his fault. And he finally has. And he's admitting that I have not been fully healthy. And I should have told everybody that, hey, I'm not good. My foot's not good. I need to step back.
Well, I think the Panthers had something to do with that because they weren't telling anybody Cam wasn't
No.
healthy either. So they were
No.
trying to get by a couple games
Right.
with a couple wins.
Correct.
And sneak it out and then Cam would be healthy.
For sure.
So I don't think that was all Cam's fault.
But that defense for Carolina is real.
Yeah.
It's real.
And so one thing too, like why I think that Cam's gonna take over the starting job immediately once he's healthy again, is because Kyle Allen's doing well, but was reading something the other day that Christian McCaffrey is like has accounted for 57% of all of your offensive attempts
For sure.
this entire season.
Exactly.
I
So
thought
I
it would
mean,
be higher.
that gives you a question like, would Kyle Allen be performing as well as he is?
Probably not.
If he didn't have a
Probably not.
stud ass running back like McCaffrey.
Probably not, because Curtis you can't rely on you can't rely on Greg Olsen, who's probably going to retire at the end of the year. You can't rely on Curtis Samuel and DJ Moore, who are both they're only in their second, third years.
Who's that guy last game that every time I thought Curtis Samuel was getting me fantasy football points, caught the ball right?
Right. Yes.
He fucking stepped in last week.
Yes, and he did. But here's the problem, and I agree with you, because another reason why Cam's going to take over, because Cam's been there. Cam is really, in all reality, if Cam is fully healthy, I will debate anybody to this day. Cam could be is a top 5 quarterback if he is fully healthy.
And he's doing Cam things.
Right. So, but the only time when Cam was winning was when he was doing the dance moves, doing the dab. Think about it.
Having fun.
Having fun.
Yeah.
So that's what he needs to bring back. And if he does that, we have a Super Bowl contending team.
Especially
with that defense.
McCaffrey is the best. If you get pressure, you could just toss the ball to McCaffrey. And 50% of the time, he's getting through the first tackle, onwards 10 yards.
Yeah.
So you got a good squad. After the first 2 games, I was really,
We'll see what
really
happens.
backwards about what the Panthers
We'll
are going to
see
do
what
this year,
happens
but
after we.
if they are playoff contenders this year, I think you
We'll
should
see
be
what
happy.
we'll see what happens when we play this Sunday against Minshew on Sunday.
Oh!
And so regardless,
Kyler Allen, fucking Minshew.
once Cam does get back, he's got to either put up or shut up.
That is our next segment.
Which I think is our next segment. We'll be back in a second. So I just realized that I fucked this segment's name up. It's actually Nut Up and Nut Up or Shut Up.
Welcome, Part-Time Podcast. You are joining Nut Up or Shut Up with the Part-Time Boys. And what this segment is people going to step up and exceed expectations, or are they going to sit down and fall to the floor?
Well, who
and
we expect that we? Another thing is who we're expecting to put up the numbers, the stats. Doesn't matter if it's fantasy. These guys that we see, we watch, every Sunday. Who should be the guys that should be putting up the numbers and they're not?
I think that's more along what we're going for is people who are supposed to do very well this year who are not meeting the bar.
Right.
So let's start with your boy, DeAndre Hopkins.
I love Hopkins. I mean, he's been my fantasy dude. I traded him in my fantasy league, but I got a really good trade.
What was the trade, Clay?
I gave away Duke Johnson, DeAndre Hopkins, and Daniel Jones. I got Mike Evans, Joe Mixon, and DJ Moore.
Interesting.
Ooh.
But anyway,
That was a good trade.
with Hopkins, see, I certainly understand that he is not really living up to expectations, but I'll tell you exactly why. Houston's O-line is so god awful.
Well, he's getting double teamed too.
He's getting double team, and that O-line,
Yeah, it's bad.
Watson
Just
is
running for his life.
running for his life and not able to make the passes that.
Correct.
So with Hopkins can make a play out there.
Exactly.
It's bad.
What's
Yeah.
even worse is I was watching this past week, in between the Patriots-Bills game. I saw the Deshaun Watson get open 2 times, like out of the cut, out of the pocket, wide open, plenty of room to throw the ball, and he missed DeAndre Hopkins twice in open field. So he's been getting so much pressure that when he finally has time to throw the ball correctly, he doesn't know what to do. And it's killing Watson's points, it's killing his stats. Hopkins is getting, hurt for it. Will Fuller is turning into a really viable option this year. It's tough when your offensive line can't stop the defensive rush. The offense can't produce, and Texans haven't been able to produce this year.
No.
And they can't.
can't.
And I mean, it's crazy though that Carlos Hyde's getting as many yards as he's getting, because I remember one game he had 2 touchdowns and 98 yards rushing. And I was even surprised that he was able to get that.
Yeah, and everybody thought Duke was going to blow
Oh,
up.
I
this year
thought
when he
Duke was
number
going to
one
be the
option.
guy. I thought until they signed Carlos Hyde, but so basically the Texans have the same backfield except without Chubb that the Browns had last year.
Yeah. No, you're right.
And it's just that's why Chubb got the starting position. But Duke's a pass catcher. And I don't understand why they don't play Duke more than Hyde. Hyde can catch, but Duke, once he gets open, he can run. He's a lot faster than Hyde. So he can get up the field a little bit quicker. So why not, if Deshaun Watson's running for his life, why not dump it off to Duke and let him go up the field and get 5 yards or 3 yards? But it's better than getting sacked or having Hyde run for 1 yard.
Duke has always been a top 3 pass catcher in the league, and you're not utilizing him to his full expectation.
I don't think so.
That's exactly why that I'm calling that the Falcons beat the shit out of Houston this week.
I like their comeback too. I like the Falcons comeback.
I can see that, and what Julio Jones is doing right now is just stupid.
Oh, he's unreal.
Absolutely. All right, who's the next guy on?
We got Mr. Mixon, who's had 2 horrible fucking games back to back to start the season. It had a good game 3, and the end of it, waited till the 4th quarter to make some relevance in the game. And he had a decent week last week. Barely broke standard what he should have done. It's week 5. It's time for him to nut up or shut up.
I just don't know if you can blame it all on Mason.
Wasn't he hurt though?
He was.
So I'm pretty sure that he was playing hurt week 2.
And
he still played week 3. He played last week.
He's coming off an injury from. He's coming off an injury from last year.
He was questionable.
And so I don't think it's his problem. I think it's more the fact of we're talking about with the same thing with Houston. It's the offensive line.
It's huge in the NFL.
So I think
right now.
another reason, but it couldn't be because here I'm looking at Joe Mason's stats right now. He's at 47 attempts for 49 yards. Now, if I go over and I
In
click
what game?
That's just no. That's all season.
He does not have only 49 yards.
149.
Oh.
Now, if I look at Andy Dalton, and I'm looking at his stats right now, and it's pretty terrible. Well, his QBR is terrible. It's 32.7.
So Mixon's getting 3 yards per rush, too.
3.2 yards per rush. Yep.
Whew.
So here's the thing. Andy Dalton, though, has thrown for 1,100 yards plus 5 touchdowns and 4 interceptions.
They're throwing the ball more. He's getting rushed.
Now you know what you want to hear a crazy the story that I heard the other day about the Bengals, though. And I hate to get off the part about nut up or shut up with Mixon, but they're thinking about trading AJ Green.
Really?
There's rumors that they're thinking about trading AJ Green.
You know, at this point, why not?
They might as well rebuild.
Well,
you still have Tyler Boyd and John Ross who are young.
and you got that third guy who's looking to become a star because Ross is hurt this week.
Yeah, I heard that.
I know you're talking about.
He's going to be out for a couple of weeks. I think.
Picked him up in fantasy.
Something Tate. I don't know how to pronounce it. Auden Tate.
Auden Tate, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he looks good, but I mean, at the end of the day, these guys. I mean, another thing is, think about it this way: the reason why Cincinnati is also so bad is remember how good Tyler Eifert was 2 years ago?
He was playing like
and his fantasy, and he was the number 1 tight end in the league.
Top 3 for sure.
It was stupid how good he was. It was stupid how good he was.
When was the last time the Bengals were good? When they had Shadow Josinko and Hushman?
I don't know.
They've made the playoffs a couple of years, but they have not.
I don't
won a
remember
playoff game. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the Bengals have never won a playoff game in their franchise history.
Well, that's not
what
true.
sucks though is Dalton.
They've never won a playoff game when
Dalton.
not with Dalton. Well, not just with Dalton, but what?
Palmer.
Who was the
Carson Palmer.
Not just Carson Palmer. I'm pretty sure won a playoff game, but it's when that coach was there.
Oh.
I cannot remember his name.
Bing,
I have a brain fart. If anyone wants to chime in on this when you can comment and tell me who the coach was.
All right, let's move into number 3. We're going with D.D. Westbrook because he got so much fucking hype coming into this year that he was supposed to be the man, the go-to for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he has had a underwhelming season.
I am so glad that I did not draft him and somebody picked him up before I could.
Well, you did draft him, and actually I got him from you.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But here's the thing. I think the thing is that like these guys have stepped up though. Like DJ Jarrett Jr., Chris Conley, Keelan Cole, Marquise Lee. And the thing about Marquise Lee is, and people don't really know this about him, and I'm going to brag on him a little bit. They say that I read an article, or it was actually last year, and I don't remember what wide receiver commented on this, but they literally said that Marquise Lee is the most hardworking wide receiver they've ever seen in Jacksonville.
Yeah, I believe it.
And so.
And you're right. You got a lot of competition.
He's got a lot of competition, but
D.D.
D.D. Westbrook is the number 1 wide up there.
He's just not getting the targets that he deserves.
I mean, he's got his stats for this year: 16 receptions, 145 yards, and 1 touchdown.
All year.
So he's averaging though, but he's still averaging 9 yards a catch.
Yeah, but that should have been his statistics.
No, I get that, but I think that D.D.'s getting covered more because that's their guy.
Yeah, maybe. I see that, but it is time for D.D. to nut up or shut up.
Well, he ain't gonna nut up or shut up because the Panthers gonna stomp that ass this weekend.
We'll see. So moving into number 4, we got Sony Michel, who was supposed to be a fantasy football fucking stud this year. He was supposed to take the catches from James White and, have a 20-plus fantasy point game every week. He was supposed to have a 100-yard-plus game every week with the Patriots, who randomly throwing serious running games to their competitions. But this year, I don't know what's going on with Sony Michel. Our offensive line is good. So
I tell you who's looked good. I've enjoyed watching him. And Rex Burkhead.
Burkhead is an
even though he's
interesting
questionable,
play.
but he's been
Burkhead's
solid.
Interesting play. He definitely, and that's the thing. The Patriots do a serious running back by committee, which is very tough to judge. Last game versus the Bills, I think James White had like 100 yards reception like the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean,
He was
that's
all
another-
we were throwing
that's
to
a-
versus the Bills.
Well, that's another thing. James White, man, he's just like that. He works so much better, I think, than Sony Michel does
in
the
that
offense.
scheme, yeah. But
Like-
so you still need Sony for that power back.
I could see Sony Michel going to somewhere like
Bucks,
who?
Buccaneers,
Yeah, like the Bucks would be good for him. Houston would be good. I really could really see him mostly though in like the scheme of the Eagles.
Yeah, the Eagles need a back bad.
Not after what Jordan Howard performed last week, but
Yeah,
and
he
those
would work
guys.
well in that scheme.
And Miles Sanders. But I think Sonny Michel. I mean, look at Nick Chubb though, man.
Yeah,
Nick
he's
Chubb
balled
is
out.
just.
He's
I
balled
mean, they
out.
both played with each other. You know this as a Georgia fan.
Yeah, but I think Sony
So
is such.
UGA just pumps out running backs, baby.
It's
He does.
Todd Gurley,
Yeah.
Nick Chubb, Sony Michel.
Now they got Swift there. Then
We
they
got
had
Swift.
they had Holyfield, which we
Holyfield.
actually have Holyfield on our team as one of our backups.
You guys did have Charles Barkley. But the thing about Sony Michel is he's a team player,
Yeah.
and he doesn't mind taking a step back in statistics to win championships,
Right.
and that's what everybody does in the Patriots.
Exactly.
Let's move on to O.J. Howard, who I dropped this year. Horrific fantasy football season. And it stems back to the coach of the Buccaneers.
Well, he doesn't-
Who doesn't throw to tight ends.
His scheme doesn't.
His whole
His
scheme
offensive
doesn't throw to
scheme
tight ends. Even though you get
But-
this stud, O.J. Howard, who could be a Gronkowski of the fucking NFL.
Here's the thing though with him is, and I picked him up, and he got me 9 points. He's got me nine to 10 points the past 2 games in fantasy. But here's the thing: it's just like you said, and we were talking about Bruce Arians' scheme is not towards tight ends. But here's the thing that also Bruce Arians says: he's got to get open, and he's not getting open. So there's a problem there. Either O.J. Howard's not working hard enough, or he's not working hard enough to get open on his routes, or whatever the case may be.
He's not fitting into Bruce Arians'
But
scheme.
he could be-
But also, famous Jameis isn't playing full
He's been
expectations.
He's been playing pretty good against the Rams.
Well, yeah.
So besides
Besides
50 points last Sunday, that's about it. That game was insane.
Yes.
But really, when it comes to OJ Howard, like it's tough because they have so many offensive weapons. The Bucs should be so much better than
Mike
they are.
Evans put up about 50 points 2 weeks ago, too.
And same with Godwin. He's
baller.
a monster.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, it's just like, and then now they're starting to figure out their running backs. Like Ronald Jones, Peyton Barber, but it looks like Ronald Jones is going to be the guy.
That's a whole fucking different story.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
running back core is so confusing.
Yeah, they've got to figure that out and just stick with one guy.
Yeah, they have
I
to.
think Ronald Jones is the best one for
Me
him.
too.
Because he's already proven that he can.
He's a young buck. He's
He's the young buck. He can run. He can catch. And he can get down the field when he needs to.
But we'll move back into running backs. We'll stay with Devonta Freeman of the Falcons.
I think that's another situation though. It's just like the same thing that we were talking about with Houston and all that. It's just like I don't think.
Out of the line.
I still think that it kind of comes down with the line with the Falcons. I mean, Matty Ice has put up big numbers last year, but it's not. It's just not the same as it was last year.
Yeah. Where did he go to school?
Who?
Matty Ice.
Matty Ice went to Boston College.
Woo!
Boston College.
The one
I
player,
should've saw that was baited in that question
the
for
one
you.
player that I can fucking speak for out of Boston College, Matt Ryan. But Devonta Freeman struggled, fantasy value this year. He struggled statistically coming. I think he finally had a good game last week. And again, I think the Falcons are on an upside. Every year you kind of don't expect the Falcons to break out and beat
But then eventually they do.
They always end up with a good record.
Right, and I think Devontae Freeman will step up. I think it's still early in the season. We're only 4 games in.
Where are those big games we saw a couple years ago when Devonta
Freeman
Freeman broke out of
The
nowhere?
guy suffered so bad of an injury. I mean, he had a bad injury last year.
He
Or
did?
Was it last year or the 2 years ago?
ago?
I mean, so he's not fully healthy, or he's not fully there yet. I mean, he's probably still trying to work out the functions.
kinks.
Yeah, and so I think it'll come around. I just think that because you look at the losses that
Talking about a
Atlanta's had.
pass catching back.
The Atlanta's losses have been to Tennessee, Indianapolis, and Minnesota. All three of those have great defenses. So he's probably been. I mean, they're playing tough defenses, and then Philly, he probably ran all. He ran all over Philly.
He did, but the issue with those first three teams is they were such. You don't know how to judge those first three teams you just mentioned.
You don't know.
They can win one game, blowout. They can lose crazy the next game.
It's just
I would not bet on those first three
Well,
teams.
here's another thing is I think also with Atlanta is they're not in the red zone. They're not getting down to the red zone enough.
Yeah, they're not. And they're not capitalizing.
So then
Yeah.
Devontae Freeman's not going to get any.
He's not getting those touchdowns. Let's move on to Duke Johnson, like we were saying. It's kind of repetitive now.
Yeah.
With Watson, the offensive line sucks. Duke Johnson can't do anything. He needs to be a pass-catching back. He needs to be a reliable option out the backfield. We're going to skip right past him then because we know what the issue is. Let's jump into Jared Goff, Daniel.
Yeah. He definitely needs to nut up or shut up for sure. But then again, I really don't think that it is his fault entirely. I think that it really comes down to play calling. Last Sunday, he attempted 60 passes,
Wow.
and he got picked off 3 times.
That's the odd. That's decent odds.
And here's the thing, too. Like, they handed the ball off to Todd Gurley 10 times.
10 times.
That's it.
Where was Royce Freeman?
When you have a weapon like Todd Gurley, and you're making Goff throw 60, I don't care what kind of quarterback you are. If you attempt 60 passes, you're bound for at least 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
You are bound for at least 2 interceptions.
At least one.
At the
And that'd
very
be a
least
great
one.
game.
Like, that's elite quarterback stuff.
That's actually less than what you said, but it was close. It's actually 5 carries.
What?
5 carries, 16 yards, but he still scored 2 touchdowns.
Who was what? Latavius Murray? Not Royce Freeman. Latavius Murray came in with some runs?
Latavius Murray is on New Orleans. You're thinking of the guy that's behind him, which is the Gerald guy.
Yeah.
The guy who came out of nowhere and was like put up major stats for the first 2 games. You want me? I'll show you what you're talking about here in a minute. But yes, back to what you were saying there. He threw the ball 68 times.
Whoa.
Okay, sorry. Almost 70 times.
Yes. You said 60 though, right? Or 50?
I said 60. I was wrong.
Okay, but 68.
Almost 70.
I've never seen that many attempts in
That's
professional
absurd.
football.
And so I get that it's a
Is that a
passing
record?
league. But
I don't
come
know
on,
if that's a
baby.
record, but he had 517 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. But
517
But here's a
yards.
crazy stat for you. I mean, as much as he threw 3 interceptions, he had 45 completions.
Wow.
That's not terrible, but
So maybe he doesn't need to
Out
shut
of
up.
80 attempts, it's
I don't think
Out of 80 attempts, 3 interceptions ain't that bad, you know?
he doesn't. He needs to nut up. I wouldn't say shut up, and he needs to nut up, which means
everybody's expecting Jared Goff to have a great year this year. Not the fuck up or shut up.
I just don't think it's more of a. I think it's more of the. Let's say this. Throw the ball to your wide receiver.
All right, let's wrap this up real quick. We're going into the Vikings, which is a whole topic because the whole Vikings as a team need to nut up or fucking shut up.
That ain't lying.
Kirk Cousins has been sucking bad.
He's about to be ran out of town.
And last year
You
he
like
had a
that?
great year. Great year last year. And Kirk Cousins is struggling. That might have to do with what we've been talking about with the offensive line. Thielen's still putting up serious points. Dalvin Cook's having a good year.
Stephon Diggs is definitely.
I don't even think it's
He
that.
doesn't want to be
Diggs.
there.
Oh, he doesn't.
Tom Diggs.
He doesn't want to be there, and I wouldn't blame him. But it's like, who is Cousins actually throwing the ball to, though? You know, besides the other team.
Oh, good point. Thielen.
Exactly. So
So
that's
they're
his
so
problem.
run happy. And hate to say
Well,
this,
Dalvin Cook is just stud, though.
he is. But
He's
I
a
think
good
that they're
baller.
putting way too much
Pressure on him.
well, that and they are relying on him so much, and he's a great back. Don't get me wrong, but they're ignoring their great ass
There's
receivers.
threats, yeah. Diggs is a fucking threat on any other team.
Oh yeah, I know. It's crazy.
You put Stephon Diggs, like, you know who he'd be perfect for?
The Panthers.
Well, he'd be great for the Panthers. I would love that. I wasn't even going to say that. I think he'd be great on the Colts. Him and T.Y. Hilton on both sides.
Yeah.
The way they both run routes and the way that offensive scheme runs.
Awesome.
I think that would be perfect for a team. Now, even someone else that could use them. Someone else
Buffalo Bills could use him, baby. The Buffalo Bills could use him, man.
But what I think, and here's the thing, and I'm not kidding you right now. Let me tell you, he's got their binoculars out.
Mr. Belichick.
Yes, he does.
Is that because we just released a $15 million salary cap?
Check.
It's so crazy how the Patriots just like have a shit ton of space every year. Some of the players that they go out and try to get, I'm like, how do you have this money?
Everybody on the Patriots is demanded to take a pay cut as soon as you step on the field with the New England.
They're like, all right, guys, we're gonna have to cut your
salary
salaries down like $2 million.
half.
No one cares. Like, oh, okay,
Well,
whatever.
I mean, even
do we get
Brady,
to win here?
didn't
Oh
Brady,
yes, sir. You get to win here.
didn't Brady take a pay cut one year?
Brady makes.
Or he took one this
Brady
year,
makes
right?
and this is not a flabbergasting comment, or it is. I'm being very realistic with this comment. Brady makes like $10 million less than most big quarterbacks playing NFL, where people are signing $25 million contracts.
Now he is.
Yes.
Not then, but now he is.
Now he is. I swear Brady's making like $15 million a year.
Yeah.
Where P. Holmes and big QBs are making $25 million a year.
Yeah.
That's $10 million
Stafford.
to spend on
I
somebody
mean,
else.
think about Stafford's contract. That guy was the highest paid quarterback at one point.
Yeah.
Well, finally, he's earning it this year.
Well, he's deserved it, man. I think that's one of the most underrated quarterbacks in this league.
He's big. Yeah, I do
like Stafford. Feel bad for him. But yeah, guys, most definitely. I think that was a great segment. Let's take a quick break, and then we will go into our final segment. Let's do
Nut
that.
up or shut up.
Oh man, now we're gonna be copyrighted. We're gonna slap on ESPN.
ESPN's gonna send us a warrant for our arrest.
All right, guys, we are jumping into our last segment of the day. So we're going to talk about rankings of the year.
Early
And
rewards.
we're only going into week 5 right now, so be patient with us.
Well, these are basically who we think is gonna be MVP, whatever kind of
Offense
candidates.
player of the year,
Yep.
defense player of the year,
So most valuable players.
which are all fucking quarterbacks.
Yeah, they are. Number one's definitely Patrick Mahomes.
P. Holmes.
He's gonna win.
He is the first player.
Hands down. There's no one that's gonna come close to him.
He's the first player with a 99 ranking in Madden to be as young as he is,
Yeah.
which is unfucking real.
Yeah, and
He's
then
so good.
yeah, I mean it's the guy. I mean I've never even. I mean, if you look up highlights on YouTube, look up no look passes, and
Those are so sick.
like I've never even seen. I don't even know if I've seen anyone else do it except him. Like who else has done a no look pass?
But have you seen that guy play other sports?
Oh, he's nasty at baseball.
He golfs.
Yeah, I heard he can
He's a
spank
dirty
it.
golfer. He's a bowler. I mean, this dude can fucking do anything.
And he can play basketball too.
He can play basketball.
And then he got in trouble for playing basketball. They told him not to do it again.
But then, so P. Holmes, big front runner.
Yep. And next up is Lamar Jackson, and I can see that because that guy's like a cheat code, man. That guy is like literally a cheat code.
This year, though, was so unexpected from him. I mean, last year they had such a shitty team, and it was all such a run scheme. And Lamar Jackson walks into this year throwing the ball like a perfect fucking QBR rating.
Mm-hmm.
Game 1.
It helps when you've got a guy in the backfield, Ingram, and then you've got Marquise Brown who's stepping up as a rookie.
Yeah,
We'll get to him in a minute.
Then they had fucking Andrews, who was a star this year, coming out of nowhere.
Yep, and then you got Snead still helping him out.
Snead is helping them out. I mean, they got young receivers, but that's never proved to hurt your team before.
No.
So Lamar Jackson, big underdog this year. I really respect him.
Nah, I know y'all boys ain't gonna like this third one.
Where's our boy Tex?
He's not here, but
Ryan's gonna love it.
He's gonna love it. Dak Prescott.
Nope, no way.
Dax,
No way in hell.
You know what? I thought Dax was gonna have a terrible year this year, and he has surprised me. He just had his first decent game last week.
He is second. He's second in the NFL for passing percentage.
Yeah,
that's good stats. And he has run potential. He's a young Russell Westbrook. I mean, he's got a lot of leeway.
And so I think that it was like telling though when he actually went up against a really good secondary with the Saints, and he didn't throw a touchdown pass last game. I don't think.
Nope.
He struggled versus the Dolphins until halftime.
Yeah, and then he just went off afterwards.
Yeah, he did go off.
I mean, he's good. I like Dak. I hate the Cowboys.
I'm gonna put someone above him, and here's some other guys that they haven't mentioned. But I mean, Phillip Rivers is one of them, but I'm not putting him in front of Dak. I think Dak's still in front of Phillip.
Phillips is always underrated every year.
He is. He's always underrated. He's always going to be underrated because the guy's never won a Super Bowl, but he's always been there.
Peyton
It's
Manning.
always been consistent.
Peyton Manning
Right,
till the
right.
very end.
Right.
Yeah.
Same thing. But I put Matthew Stafford in front of Dak, and here's the reason why. Because here, Matthew, I still think, and and Tex is not going to like this, but the fact of the matter is this. Matthew Stafford, if he was on any other team, you put him on the Patriots, you put him in
On the Bills.
Green Bay, really just teams with a strong offensive line, like these other teams we're talking about,
Defense. Yeah.
and a good defense. Matthew Stafford's an MVP player. The guy can sling the freaking ball, man. I mean, I think he's the most underrated and unappreciated quarterback in the league.
Look at the Lions this year, though.
I mean,
He's doing some things with the Lions.
I mean,
this year.
they're 2-1 and a tie, and
Two,
they took Patrick Mahomes to the wire.
Yeah.
You look up Matthew Stafford's career stats. You look up his stats this year. The guy is a stud, man. I just think he's unappreciated, and it kind of
So do
pisses
I.
me off. It really pisses me off. So
Yeah, I think he's a good guy. You know, I really want him to win one.
Yeah, Matt
Won
Stafford.
Super Bowl.
Matt
He
Stafford's
deserves it, man. He
a
does.
big player. All right. So ranking on that MVP list. For some reason, Brady's not on there, but
we always get, but Brady always
He's on the MVP list,
He's
huh?
always on the MVP
and he
list.
might
but
be by the end of the year.
He might be, but here's
the
the
Patriots
thing.
are so good beyond Tom Brady this
But
year.
here,
it's unreal.
that last game though kind of showed, I think, a little bit of how Brady might be coming down to his. It's about coming down to his time. He's older now. Now, don't get me wrong. Is he still playing better than half of the quarterbacks in the league? By all means, yes.
90%.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah, I was gonna say about 90%.
almost 100% coming into the game.
He's still top 5. He's still top 10, top 5 quarterback.
He is.
Absolutely.
But
Right
the
now.
Patriots are just so heavy in depth this
Oh, yeah.
year. Defense number one.
I know.
I mean, all right. Let's move on to the next topic. We're going to Offensive Player of the Year, which I'm a little more excited about.
Me too. And it's because the number one is Christian McCaffrey.
McCaffrey. And every now and then I get a little McCaffrey. Hold me down.
So to be honest with you, would be more than happy to move on right to the next award because this guy is going to win.
Even if I mention these other guys,
He's taking the Carolina Panthers on his damn
Who
back.
else we got? Just
Dalvin Cook, Keenan Allen, and then we got some honorable mentions: Cooper Kupp and Michael Thomas. I would make Cooper Kupp. I would put Cooper Kupp at 2, and then have Dalvin at 3,
Thomas.
I think so. Too.
Thomas 4, and then,
Allen's having a great year, though. I thought he was.
I mean, I like Keenan Allen, but I just feel like here's the thing: you got Mike Williams on the other side. Hunter Henry's going to be coming back for them. Then you got Melvin Gordon coming back in the lineup. So things are going to change for Keenan Allen, I think. Here shortly.
But here's the realistic part of this whole story is there is not one other person that plays like McCaffrey for their team. I mean, if we all were talking bullshitting around, I'd say McCaffrey's 90% of the offense. But statistically, McCaffrey is literally 60% of this offense. And that's going to the stats. McCaffrey gets 60% of the touches on the offense.
It's absurd.
Which is unreal, whether it's pass or run. So
It's crazy.
number one offensive player of the year. I hope you guys agree. It's Christian McCaffrey.
For sure. I agree. And I mean, I'm not saying that because I'm a Panthers fan and I'm biased or anything, but it's obviously the stats. Stats don't lie.
Yeah, of course.
Facts matter. So,
Dive
all
into the
right.
next one.
So, on to defensive players of the year, and we've got the Shaquille Barrett, the outside linebacker for the Bucks, is number 1.
He's killing it this year.
And I mean, looking at his stats, he's got 20 tackles, 9 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, and 1 interception.
5 tackles a game. That's 5 fucking tackles a game.
And here's the better part. He had an interception and a forced fumble,
He got called back.
and he had a sack against, and 3 total tackles against the Rams.
Wow, that's a good game.
Which is crazy.
Right.
Okay.
So there's that.
He's
Then we
short.
know who's next, and he's the big man, and we all know about him. Khalil Mack.
The best defensive player in the NFL.
In years.
He's definitely the best defensive player in the NFL right now.
He has 4.5 sacks, 2 tackles for a loss, 1 interception, and 4 forced fumbles.
How many tackles?
Let me see. It says 2 tackles, but that was against who? It doesn't say.
Maybe round him up 10 tackles.
I mean, Khalil's probably I bet you he's got over 20 tackles.
4.5 is sick.
Come on,
Sacks, but I think it comes out of tackles.
for sure. Hold on, let me get these stats up real quick. I'm sorry, guys. I'm having
It's
some
fine.
trouble.
We'll dive into the next person.
Go ahead.
So who I think is going to win this award this year is Devin McCourtney off the New England Patriots because
He's the man.
he has right now 4 interceptions.
1 per game.
He's
right?
leading the league in interceptions right now. 4 interceptions, which sacks are great, tackles are great, but interceptions are more important.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Khalil Mack has 12 tackles and 4.5 sacks.
12 tackles, 4.5 sacks. Good game. I mean, that's all right. So him and his boy, I think the dude above is probably winning right now.
Yeah, and he is, and he's winning by far because of what he's done. I mean,
Right.
he's playing for Tampa Bay.
Correct.
Not the best team.
But Devin McCourtney with a defense that's never been number 1, never has been number 1 defense, has 4 interceptions right now. He's definitely my front runner.
I still think Myles Garrett's in the mix. Myles Garrett for the Browns. The guy, I mean, is having an unreal season right now.
He is dirty.
I mean, if you look at his stats for this year, let me pull him up here, and I got him right here. I mean, the guy is just a freaking athlete. Here it
It's
is.
absurd, yeah.
He has 13 tackles, 6 sacks,
Wow,
and 1 forced fumble.
that's dirty. No picks,
No picks, but
6 sacks.
6
It's coming.
sacks.
It's
Wow,
coming.
that's unreal.
This is only his 3rd season.
That's unreal. 6 sacks is unreal in 4 games.
The guy's a freak athlete.
That's 1.5
He
sacks
really
per
is.
game.
I mean, he reminds me almost of he's a Clowney-like player.
So as much as I would love to go to the next award, we're probably going to have to
Wrap it up.
try and wrap that up
We'll
because
wrap it up.
I dropped the ball because I didn't charge my computer before I'm here. I'm sitting at 8%. And I want to make sure that we get this piece of content out to you and it doesn't just end abruptly.
So the final answer on that for me is Devin McCourtney, Defensive Player of the Year, 4 interceptions this year.
I think it's going to end up being Khalil Mack, though.
He's such a beast. Such a beast.
But I think Myles Garrett has a good chance.
You tell me if Devin McCourtney gets 1 interception a game.
You have
for the rest-
Stephon Gilmore, though.
for the rest of the games.
You still have
Of course
Gilmore.
we do. And he's shutting down every fucking receiver
Exactly.
that's going against him. But 4 interceptions. In
That's
4
the reason
games.
why Devin McCourtney's getting the interceptions, because they're trying to pass to someone else that Stephon's not.
4 picks in
covering.
4 games is number 1 right now.
It's insane. But yo, guys, listen, honestly, really hope that you enjoyed Nosebleed Sports presented by Part-Time. Say that you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, like this video. This really helps us out with the YouTube algorithm. And do us a favor and make comments of what topics that you want us to discuss.
Yes, please.
We're going to be
Please.
focusing on the NFL heavy for the next couple of weeks because number 1, love the NFL. Number 2, it's
But if you want us to
going on?
talk about something else, please let us know. It doesn't even have to be NFL. Just shoot us anything, because then we'll make it work.
But
Yeah.
the NFL is our favorite sport.
Right
Yeah,
now,
And we
It's 'cause it's football
love
season.
talking about football during football season.
Nice
so
burp.
who doesn't?
let us know how you like the full video podcast. I hope you like looking at our ugly mugs because we love listening to yours. So if you want to take a break from your full-time jobs, let's have some part-time fun.
Oh, baby. All right, guys. We'll see you next episode. Deuces.